Okay, great. Well, welcome everybody to Pam Evans Smith Arena. Ryan Maurer and Andrew Barnes high atop the beautiful confines of Pam Evans Smith Arena. We have your opener of the 2024 men's volleyball season, and what better way to start than on a cold, chilly night when we've already lost one of the teams from our Wittenberg quad who couldn't even make it. Yeah, apparently from Wisconsin. There's apparently a blizzard going on, so
pretty big storm.
Yeah, so of course we've heard about it here, but here it's just been rain, so I guess that's okay. We are going to pause for it. Let's see. Yeah, I think she's still doing the national. I think the national anthem's still about a minute away, but we are really excited to have this going today. We have a great matchup in our first one. We have Wittenberg University coming off a 19-10 season and a regular season MCVL championship, which is pretty exciting. That was the first one in program history. And our first match here is against St. John Fisher, which we were told 9th in the country, but according to the rankings we just pulled up, they're 11th. But either way, they're clearly very good. And so now we're going to pause for the national anthem. All right. So the live stats don't have our starters in yet, so I guess they're going to announce them now. So we're here at number 3 for St. John Fisher. Griffin Stella. Number 6, Gabe LaRobadier. We're just going to have to watch them along with the rest. So we are high atop here. The stats are done down on the court. Here at Pam Evans Smith Arena. We have a 3-court arena. We play on the center one. The plan was to have 2 courts going this weekend. St. John Fisher and Wittenberg and Penn State Altoona were all going to get 3 matches this weekend. But because of the huge snowstorm going across the Midwest, Wisconsin Lutheran was supposed to be the 4th team here at the Wittenberg quad, and they were not able to make it. So that's unfortunate for Wisconsin Lutheran and certainly for the teams here who kind of hoping to get some early season stuff going, right? Before the league starts in about a month.
Yeah, it's important to get all these games, early.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to kind of see where your team is. What you see early on is certainly not what you see on in. So we have Eli Halverson coming out for Wittenberg. He's just been announced. Michael Yerk. These are the starters for Wittenberg. Trajan Kress. Number 13, Tom Suppan. Number 14, Sam Richardson. Number 21, Reese Monin. He's a freshman. He's in the starting lineup. And number 3, the libero today, Dominic Smith, sophomore libero down at Clayton, Ohio. So, maybe those were the reserves. I don't know.
They're announcing them all.
They are announcing them all. I knew they generally did that, but I was thinking that meant those were the starters. Although I think the people I named were the starters initially. I think this must be the reserve group here. Yeah, so, I think the first group I announced was the starters. And now the teams will do the customary shaking of hands to start things out, or at least a quick high five at the net, and we'll be ready to go. Again, this is the first of 3 matches here in Springfield. The original plan was 6 for each of these teams to get 3 matches in. But as we mentioned before, the snowstorm kept that from happening. It's the opener for both teams. As we mentioned, St. John Fisher comes into this ranked in the national polls at number 11, according to the AVCA poll that was released on January 9th. Wittenberg is not ranked. They come off of a 19-10 season, 7-1 in the MCVL, and they return most of their top players. They're projected to finish second in the conference. Baldwin Wallace, who is projected to win the conference, they were the tournament champions last year. So they come in at 19 in the poll, so that's obviously something to shoot for the Tigers. So we are about to get underway here. Nathan Matthews is Wittenberg's coach. He's in his third season. He's a Wittenberg alum. He and assistant coach Ryan Roark both played for the team in the very early stages of its after it was founded in 2015. So the first season was 2016-17. And we have a nice crowd. We got a few students and some shirts being tossed up into the crowd. So hopefully they'll make a lot of noise. It's a small but hearty band that braved what I would describe as gross weather out there today.
Yes, it's the Wittenberg Code Red game.
Oh, good.
For the men's
good. Well, then Code Red is worth braving the crappy weather. Well, Wittenberg will get started here on the serve, and serving for the Tigers will be number 14. That's Sam Richardson. He is a sophomore setter, 6 foot, out of Akron, Ohio, Walsh Jesuit High School. And we are underway here at Pam Evans Smith Arena with a good serve. St. John Fisher brings it back. They have trouble on the return. And Wittenberg thought they had won the point, and now they have. I think they have a point. It looked like maybe that St. John Fisher had gone under the net, but no call was made, and the ball kind of trickled over. But the Tigers regrouped quickly, and that's good composure on the first point, I'd say. So Richardson to serve again. Lefty serve. This one goes into the net. So we're tied at 1 in the early going. St. John Fisher will step out to serve. And the server for, I think that's number 8. Yes, that is number 8. So Gavin Newman will be the first server for St. John Fisher, the Cardinals. And we do have our live stats rolling here now, so we'll be able to keep you updated on that. He hits a good serve. The Tigers bring it back. They're in system on this one. And a good kill. Good kill. That one knocked down by Tom Suppan. That was a really nice set there, I thought, Andrew,
that was
right?
placed really well.
Yeah, that put it right on the pin and made an easy knockdown for Suppan, who is 6'4", senior. Big serve there by Suppan, goes wide, just wide. Leads to a strange cheer over there by St. John Fisher. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what that's about. So number 5 for the Cardinals, Casey Jackson. He'll be the next server. We are tied at 2 in the early going. Set number 1, match number 1 for the Wittenberg Tigers on the 23 season. There's an error. We just talked about how good the set was on the previous one. That one went a little awry.
Yeah, he didn't get his whole hand on that ball.
Yeah,
came off the fingertips.
Yeah, it looked like timing was a little bit missed up there, so the Cardinals are now ahead 3-2. There's a good serve. Drops in. It's brought up nicely by the Tigers. A tip. And the Tigers thought they had one at the floor, but that's probably what makes good teams good, is that they can dig like crazy. There's a good dig by the Tigers on the other side. Now it's a battle at the net. Coach Nathan Matthews is certain that he saw something there, but the officials are not agreeing with him. I think he's lost his case, and I think these guys are about to blow the whistle. Yep, there it goes. Haven't seen too many coaches win those kind of arguments, huh?
No, it's never good when the coaches and the refs are arguing.
Yeah,
the coach never wins.
Especially at 4-2 in the early going. So here's St. John Fisher with another nice serve, another good dig. Here's a big, and that one goes to the floor. Give that kill for Michael Yerk for the Tigers, a 6'4" sophomore outside hitter out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and we're back to 4-3. And Trajan Kress will be Wittenberg's server. He's another 6'4" sophomore, so a lot of young players out here for the Tigers. There's a nice set right through the middle. Number 3, Griffin Stella. That's the timing we talked about. Wittenberg tried a similar play, and the timing was off, but the timing was spot on for the Cardinals there. Now we have a touch of the net, I believe. Yep, so we'll give the kill to Michael Yerk as St. John Fisher had a player in the net. We're back to 5-4. Okay, I thought so. The scoreboard was a little slow reacting, so 5-4. And into the game now for the Tigers, number 11, Andrew Diaz de Padilla, senior out of Nipmo, California, and he's going to hit this serve. We okay on our sound? Okay, there we go. There's a nice serve. It gets everything right back over to the Tigers, and a nice set. There's that nice timing there.
And 12 just tipped it off his fingertips, and it rolled out, and it got out of bounds.
Yes, Di Padilla is the second setter, and he put up a really nice little timing mechanism with his middle hitter, and down it went, as you mentioned, Andrew, off the block. So we're back to 5-all in the early going here. It's kind of a floater serve that gets the Cardinals a little out of their comfort zone. And, it's called long. Boy, I thought he might have had that from this angle. That was really close. That was really close.
I think they gave that point to Wittenberg.
Oh, they did? Oh, wow. Okay, so there must have been a touch?
Grazed off of...
okay, gotcha. Yeah, because he definitely on the end had it long. That was Michael Yerk again on the kill. So we had a touch at the net, and the Tigers have their back in front at 6-5. As Esri the Tiger, the lovable mascot for the Wittenberg Tigers, has made his appearance. I think that's the first appearance of 24. And Diaz de Padilla hits that one into the bottom of the net. Never want that. Never gave himself a chance on that one. So we're back at 6-all. St. John Fisher will pick up the serve here. That's a good serve. It pushes the Tigers off the court. They're just going to have to knock this one over. And now the Cardinals are going to try to attack off it.
Oh, and he missed it.
Yeah, so there's that timing there.
Yep.
That middle hitter timing was off. St. John Fisher, I think twice, has done really well with that, but not on that one. And the Tigers are back to 7-6 in the lead with Michael Yerk serving. A lot of jump serves for those of us who are more familiar with the women's game than the men's. We don't see a lot of jump serves. We see a lot in the men's game. Makes the game really fast. Here's the Tigers a little out of system, but they're calling a touch. Yes, they're calling a touch. The official in the corner was very quick with that one, and the Tigers have their biggest lead of the day at 8-6 in set number 1. So Yerk on the serve again. That's our first service ace of the day. Found a great spot for that one. And the Tigers are up 9-6 now in the early going. We commented earlier that we thought the Tigers definitely have a size advantage here. Not to say Cardinals are small, but that serve goes just long. Trying an interesting little maneuver there, wasn't it?
Trying to just drop it in.
Yeah, went away because he hit the big jump serve on the previous one, but that one was more of a floater that went just a few inches long on the back left. So St. John Fisher back with a 9-7, and number 9, Jake Baker is the server. He hits one just long. And Moose Harper returns the favor for St. John Fisher's odd celebration with an odd celebration of our own, so good deal. I have a feeling Moose leads a lot of fun things for this team, if I had to guess. Good serve here for the Tigers. Good dig. Oh, they couldn't quite get it. That was a heck of a dig back there. Number 1, Eli Halverson with a nice pickup, but unfortunately they couldn't quite control. The ball was really spinning on that one. So we're back to 10-8 here. Wittenberg with the lead as we hit near the midway point of set number 1 with St. John Fisher here at Pam Bevan Smith Arena. There's a good serve. Tigers are way out of system. They're just going to have to knock this one over and see what the Cardinals can do with this one. Back row attack. Tigers are able to bring it back. Still not able to generate an actual attack out of it, but they're still in the point. Now they get the block. Oh, and the ball goes just wide. They had the blockers up on it, just couldn't quite knock it down. Yeah, couldn't quite knock it down. So we're back to within 10-9 as St. John Fisher will again go back and serve. Trying to see the number on the server. It's from this angle, I can't quite tell. So 17 is his serve is a good one. Forces the Tigers completely out of sorts, but now we're in a little battle around the net. very unorthodox. Oh, wow, I thought that one was in, but it was just wide. Wow, that was close. The Tigers did a nice job just keeping that one alive, considering how odd that was. So the Cardinals are back with Ian Rao serving. And we're back at 10-all. And the Tiger bench is leading a soccer chant over there. I like it, being a soccer guy myself. St. John Fisher with the back row attack. It forces, oh wow, and the Tigers, all these things you didn't know you could do.
That's a very, very nice play by number 11.
Wow, Diaz de Padilla, he knew all of his rules. I didn't realize you could do that. So heck, look at that.
Really
shame on me. Yeah, he didn't touch the net. He ran underneath it, played it from the other side, and I think St. John Fisher don't look like they were just completely caught flat-footed when the ball came back over. So that big play there gets things fired up. It also sends Diaz de Padilla out as the rotation goes to the next setter. There's that middle hitting. When you can get that low set, that good timing, that's a pretty tough one to defend with guys who can jump like this.
Yep.
So after making that kill, Gavin Newman will go back to serve for St. John Fisher. His Cardinals are tied up at 11-all with the Tigers. There's a good serve, but the Tigers bring it up well. I think that's probably our first maybe a second block of the game. That one went straight to the floor. So give that solo block for St. John Fisher to Gabe Robadier. Sorry.
Robadier.
I apologize. I knew I was going to mess it up the first time, but I promise I'll get better. So Robadier gets the block on that one, and we're back 12-11. St. John Fisher, a nice dig on that initial serve.
Tipped
we
it
had
off
a
again.
touch. Yes, we had a touch.
I think that's 4 points Wittenberg's gotten off of touches from the other
I think
team.
you're right. And that's obviously a strategy. Don't worry about putting it at the floor every time, but get off that block. And that was Tom Suppan getting the point, and he'll drop back to serve with his Tigers now tied at 12. Good serve there. Took a little off it. And you can see the Tiger players, they really felt like they had the block up where they wanted it, but unfortunately the block goes wide, and the kill counts for the Cardinals, who take a 13-12 lead. Bit back and forth here. It's been a really good first set between Wittenberg and St. John Fisher in the opener of the 24 season. The Tigers want a, I guess you'd call that a lift. The attack attempt went off the net, which caused the player for St. John Fisher to struggle to get into the right position, and it wound up basically hitting him in the chest. And it's down for a point, and the Tigers are back even at 13-all. Here comes Trajan Kress with that serve. The Tigers are able to get the dig back. So are the Cardinals, and we play on. There's a big kill. It comes off the block. Reese Monin and Eli Halverson were hoping to deter the Cardinal attack on that one, but they were unsuccessful. And St. John Fisher goes back ahead at 14-13. Here's the Tigers attacking. That's a good one. Knock it down for Eli Halverson, the all-conference player as a freshman last year. He led the Tigers with let's see, how many kills was that? I'm looking for the kills. Hard to look at this here. There it is, all the way over here. 257 kills last year. Suppan was second with 219. We're back even here at 14-all. And the 6-2 formation the Tigers run pushes Diaz de Padilla back on the floor as the setter and the server. Oh, there's a nice play by the libero for the Tigers. He got that first one over. That was a tough one, and then they went change of pace on him. That's Dominic Smith. He did a nice job bringing that first one back. But like I say, the change of pace threw something off. And here we go, a serving change for St. John Fisher. We have number 7, Tyler Cohen, going to check in. He's got some interesting goggles on. I'd like to check those out. He almost looks space age there. He's got a nice serve that gets the Tigers a little bit out of the sorts, but they do a nice job hitting it off the libero for the Cardinals, Trace La Robadier. And we are back even at 15 all with Michael Yerk set to serve for the Tigers. So past the midway point, and this has been nip and tuck. I think our biggest lead was 3 points, if I remember correctly. So it's been a lot of fun watching these two teams. There's that that middle hit again. Count the kill for Ian Rao for the Cardinals. So that sends number 9, Jake Baker, back to serve again. He's a senior out of Burnt Hills, New York. He will bring this one in, trying to give his team, I think the biggest lead that the Cardinals have had is 1 point, and that one goes into the net. That's been part of their reason. We've seen a number of service errors from both sides, but I think if I pull up the live stats here, I'm pretty sure we've seen a few more. Yes, actually, well, no, I take it back. So I guess that's only St. John Fisher's second error. So good serve there by the Tigers. But I think the Cardinals show, right, they're a highly ranked team right there. That was a perfect dig, set, and kill. And they're back ahead again, 17-16. So Ian Rao goes back to serve. He wears number 17 for the Cardinals. He'll put it in play with his team once again ahead by a point. And that one goes for a service ace. That's big here. That's going to give them a little momentum, I would imagine. You always like to get a free point if you can, and that is going to force a timeout for the Tigers. Yeah, I would say the momentum there, you know, when you can get a freebie point like that, you know.
Yeah, it really shifts the tide because Wittenberg has been doing a great job keeping momentum on their side. But
it feels like if we look at the stats, both teams only have one service ace. So, yeah, neither one has been giving away a lot of free points from that standpoint. Wittenberg has 4 service errors to St. John Fisher's 2. So both teams are about even on the attacks. Kills are 12-10 in favor of Wittenberg, which makes sense. Again, we're at 18-16 for St. John Fisher in set number 1 in the 2024 opener, men's volleyball opener for both of these teams. Again, both of them will play again tomorrow. Wittenberg will be the 2:30 match against Penn State Altoona. St. John Fisher will play Penn State Altoona in a 12 o'clock match as well. So Penn State Altoona and St. John Fisher, actually two schools that probably are headed back toward a bit of snow. I know St. John Fisher will. But of course, as we mentioned earlier, Wisconsin Lutheran was supposed to be the 4th team of a quad here this weekend, and they were unable to make it, unfortunately, due to the snowstorm that is, sounds like a heck of a storm. They're talking about the politics even being interrupted in Iowa from it. So, and apparently it's going to get hellaciously cold next week too. But that has nothing to do with volleyball, as that overpass cost the Tigers, and number 5 for St. John Fisher, Casey Jackson, makes the Tigers pay. And now we do have the biggest lead of the day for the Cardinals at 19-16. Wittenberg did briefly hold a 9-6 lead, actually, in the early going. So St. John Fisher has definitely had the better of things since that point. Dominic Smith brings that one up well, but the Tigers are unable to put it to the floor. And here's a back row attack. And the Tigers, we are coming out of bounds. Okay, I thought maybe there might be a touch there, but there was no touch.
Just a tough placement, a tough angle.
It was a tough angle, I agree with that. And here's the Tigers are going to go ahead and call the next timeout. You don't often see 2 timeouts in the span of about 3 points, but I think, as we talked about earlier, Coach Matthews sensing that momentum is not on his team's side at the moment, recognizing that he better go ahead and take. I think they only get the 2 timeouts, so that pretty much says what he thinks of in the rally scoring. It's pretty hard to come back once you're down 4 points and the other team only needs 5 more to win it. But we've seen stranger things. So just looking real quick at the stats here, we got jump back to the live stats, and we'll kind of fill you in on where some of the positives and negatives are going for the two teams. But St. John Fisher is led right now by, let's see, we got Ian Rao with 3 kills. He's got 4 points scored. Wittenberg's top offensive player is Michael Yerk. He's got 5 kills on 8 attempts, so he's hitting .625. The leader on defense for the Tigers is Diaz de Padilla. He's got three digs. Dominic Smith has 2, the libero. On the other side, Trace La Robadier. Boy, I'm gonna struggle with it, but I'm gonna get it right. Robadier. I apologize. Is got 2, and his brother Gabe La Robadier, he has 2 as well. So we're back in play here, 20-16, and there's a big block. We talked about the St. John Fisher doesn't necessarily have the biggest team from the looks of it, but when guys that are 6'2 and 6'3 and 6'4 can go up and knock a ball down to the floor that way. And now we're out to a 5-point lead, and the Wittenberg Tigers are certainly caught in a tough rotation here, and they're going to have to battle their way out of this one quick. Not much time left in this set. That serve is a good one. Once again, forces the Tigers out of system. And once again, the middle attack works wonders. So that's something the Tigers are definitely going to have to figure out, how to defend that middle attack.
Yeah, a lot of their points are coming from the middle of the court there.
It does feel like it, doesn't it?
That was Griffin Stella with the misdirection.
Yeah, that was a good one. They've done that at least 2 or 3 times, where Wittenberg looked geared up for the big one, and then they bring in the change of pace, and it works really well. Once again, the Tigers, this one goes off the scoreboard. Diaz de Padilla does a nice job even keeping it alive. But Suppan is forced really wide and ends up hitting it wide. And now they're down 23-16. St. John Fisher has taken control in the later stages of this one. I believe we were tied at 15, so this one has definitely gone sideways for the Tigers. An 8-1 run here as we finally now see an air-mailed serve for St. John Fisher. And the Tigers will check back in with Richardson and Monin. Richardson will step back to serve with his Tigers trailing 23-17. You better put together a run on this service game or this service hand right here, or this set will be in the books. The lefty swings the serve. It's a good one, but it's brought back nicely. And once again, the off-speed attempt, all the Tigers can do is just kind of push it over. Good dig there, but once again, the Tigers just scrambling to keep the ball going. That could have been a double contact, but no call on that one. Now the Tigers have a shot at getting something in system, but St. John Fisher again is too tough, but the back row attack is unsuccessful, and the Tigers have their first semi-run, we could say, of 2 straight points. First time we've seen that since it was 15-all. So Richardson back to serve again. Hoping to put together a string here. This is his 2nd straight service attempt. His jump serve is a good one. Forces St. John Fisher to have to play on a back row attack, but it's a good one. A really nice little slice shot there by Tyler Cohen, and that brings up a set point for St. John Fisher. 24-18 is your score. I think the Tigers were definitely caught off guard with that one, although he tried basically the same shot the one before, too. So. Here's the big serve, and that, oh, I thought that hit.
I thought that was on the line.
Got to be honest with you, I thought that hit the line. We have a really good vantage point up here, and we got to be honest with you. We both thought that one hit the line, but the guy is right there, so we'll give him the ref the benefit of the doubt, and we'll take it. We're not proud. 24-19 is the score, and the Tigers will go back with Tom Suppan. Boy, he drills a serve. Really nice dig brought back. And there's a good attack. So Michael Yerk give him his 6th kill of the set. Tigers are back to within 24-20. Still a long road to get back even in this one and force some extra volleyball. I'm pretty sure it's 24-20, right? The scoreboard says it's 19. And there's a great serve. Suppan is letting that serve rip. I really think it's 24-21. Well, okay, maybe I'm...
And there's St. John Fisher calling a timeout here.
Yeah. I guess it is, 24. T.I. was right.
Yeah,
I
you were
knew
right.
it. I knew I had that right. The scoreboard was a little slow, was a little behind us there. And I was like, I knew I had that one counted, right? So the Tigers on a little run here. They're back to within. They've won, let's see, they were down 24-16, so they're on or 23-16, I guess it was. So they are on a 5-1 run. They're going to need 3 more points to get back level here. But Suppan has hit a couple of really nice serves to force St. John Fisher to call a timeout. So they still have one more. Wittenberg's out of timeouts, so this will be the last time that Coach Matthews will talk to his team unless, of course, St. John Fisher calls another timeout. So we'll see if that happens here. But it was good. It was nip and tuck all the way. A lot of lead changes all the way up until St. John Fisher put together a heck of a run. They won an 8-1 run after it was tied at 15 all. That established the big lead for the Cardinals at 23-16. The Tigers have battled back with a little run of their own, 5-1. So they're back within 24-21, and we'll see what they can do here. As Tom Suppan, I would imagine, will just go ahead and take another big run at this one. I mean, if you think about it, what do you have to lose, right? I mean,
Exactly.
if you float one in and it's not very good and they can attack off it, it's not going to do you much good, I would imagine. So here's Suppan, and he does let loose. Oh, boy, that looked like a lift. Yeah, they call the lift on that one, and that is the end. So that ends the first set. Score 25-21. And, Kevin, are we going to step aside and do a short break while you run a commercial or something like that? I think that'd be good. We can catch our breaths here along with you. There's about 3.5 minutes between sets. So the first one goes St. John's Fisher, 25-21. You're listening to Wittenberg Men's Volleyball on the Tiger Sports Network. Good. Yes, you don't have to say that much.
That was good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't need
just
giant
if you
stadiums.
want to jump in, you
I don't
can
need
make
to
eye
be
contact.
lectured.
Like, just kind of give me a
The
look,
world
like,
telling me
but
it's all falling
I actually
apart
looked at you
before
a
I
bunch
even
of
gotten
times, and I was like,
started.
okay, so feel
What
free
I
to
need
kind of just,
is my own pen.
kind of like,
I need
I got
mentors,
something.
advisors,
Right? You don't have to
brilliant
say I got
minds
something, just
who put
I got-
just as much into my success
You and I will get used
as
to
I
that,
do.
right? So,
I need more than a
Yeah,
university. I need a partner who believes that a higher education takes all of us.
I'm thrilled to be at Wittenberg at this time and place, as the university is perfectly positioned to welcome an esports program like none other. Wittenberg's impressive athletics tradition and Tiger Up spirit, mixed with a strong commitment to student success, will allow for a program that competes at the highest level while also caring deeply for each player, both personally and professionally. Esports at Wittenberg will not only be about gaming, but will also be about changing the game. Together, we will build a supportive, dynamic community as we bring our own distinct light to the global phenomenon of esports right here in Springfield, Ohio. It's time to Tiger Up. Let's go.
thank you, sir.
To rise above the competition, generations of Wittenberg Tigers have been encouraged to reach down deep for something more. More than skill or strength, more than precision or power, they were asked to do something extra, something beyond themselves. They needed to tiger up. Coined by a Hall of Fame coach and chanted repeatedly for decades since, Tiger Up serves as the rallying cry for championship teams and All-American performances. It calls us to greater determination and an unwavering spirit. To wear the red and white of Wittenberg is an honor, a tradition of excellence to uphold.
Ready for us?
So is the opportunity
Okay.
to Tiger Up. It's more than a
All right,
phrase.
sounds good.
It's a legacy that binds us,
Oh, it is there. You're fine.
uniting us in victorious celebration and
I've
spurring
never
us
seen a
on to
team,
greater heights,
warm up in the middle.
even in defeat. Tiger Up echoes across campus,
I think that's interesting.
bridging the past and the present.
I mean, I'm
we
surprised that the
stand
girls,
together
they all were doing the
as
shagging
Wittenberg
before, but
Tigers.
apparently they decided they're not going to do it now.
With the trademark now officially
Well,
ours,
they've never jumped up.
we embrace a new era where the roar of the Tigers resounds louder than ever before. And through it, we will continue to define what it means to compete at the highest levels, inspired by tradition and in full embrace of a promising future. Tiger Up.
All right, Ryan Maurer and Andrew Barnes back here at Pam Evans Smith Arena. And we got some stats after that first set. Andrew, you want to just run through a couple of those?
Yeah, so there was 11 tie scores in that first set with 3 different lead changes. On St. John Fisher's side, Gavin Newman leads the team in assists for that first set.
It's 12, yep.
And it looks like Sam Richardson for Wittenberg leads it with 8.
Yep. Yeah, the assists are a big thing. You can see that St. John Fisher was pretty efficient offensively with 12 assists on 28 attempts. Wittenberg was splitting the sets between the two main setters. They had 10 assists on 23, so pretty close.
And it was pretty even on kills.
It really
St. John
was.
Fisher only had 14 and Wittenberg with 13 that first set.
Yeah, I think the service errors wound up being a little bit of a bugger for the Tigers, although both teams wound up with 4. Well, we are underway here in set number 2. St. John Fisher, the visiting team today in the Wittenberg quad, they took the first set by a 25-21 score. They got a good serve there to lead things off, but the Tigers kind of scramble and keep things going. That was a strange little interchange there, but we'll take it if you're a Tiger fan. And that forces a block error, I guess we could call that, and give the kill to Eli Halverson for Wittenberg. He had 3 kills in that first set. So a good start for Wittenberg considering how they were really scrambling there to start out. So the server on this one is number 19. We didn't see number 19 in that first set for Wittenberg. That's Kurt Klamfoff. He hits a little floater, jump serve, and he immediately comes back out in favor of the libero, Dominic Smith. So this will jump over to St. John Fisher. We're tied at 1 in the early going of set number 2. Server on this one will be Casey Jackson, number 5. He hits a good serve. Tigers bring it back pretty well, and Halverson will essentially dunk that one. I like the dunk.
Yeah, that was a cool motion out of Halverson.
Yeah. Don't spend too much extra time on it. Just drop it down right in between the blockers for a kill, and an early 2-1 lead for the Tigers as Tom Suppan will step back. He had a nice serving run at the end of the first set to try to bring the Tigers back, and he's going to rip that one in play. That was a good serve, but brought back well. But there's a block for the Wittenberg Tigers. The Tigers did not record a block in the first set, so that is a big thing for Wittenberg if they can start finding a way to block on them.
Yeah, that was number 14, Sam Richardson, with that block.
That was a good one. So the Tigers have an early 3-1 lead here. Suppan will do a little variation on that big jump serve, and 2 blocks in a row. So I wonder if maybe there was a little change of tactics there by Coach Matthews during the interchange in the between sets. Maybe finding something that wasn't working that now might work. So the Tigers are up 4-1, and Suppan will go back and serve. He tried the little off-speed one again. This one hits the top of the net and drops down, and we're back at 4-2 with St. John Fisher stepping back to serve. The Griffin Stella. Stella floats one in. The Tigers try to do a little timed. It'll work. That is definitely not the timing they were looking for, but they all count in the scorebook, I think, right? My son's a baseball player, and when they just bloop one in, you say, well, it still looked like a line drive in the scorebook. So.
Yep, as long as it gets the point.
There you go. Eli Halverson will bring this one in, and he's going to get a service ace out of that. And the Tigers are up 5-2. So some good momentum here in the early going. Maybe a little fortunate bounce off the net tape on that previous one, but then when you follow it with a big service ace, that's how you build on that. Here comes Halverson again, another good serve. Forces St. John Fisher to scramble a little, and Tigers will try to take advantage. There's the middle attack. It's blocked by the Cardinals. The Tigers are just going to have to send this one back over. Cardinals will set up that middle attack. We've talked about that middle attack, haven't we? Very effective through the middle, and it's going to force a lineup change for the Tigers. Jake Downs, a sophomore, is going to come in wearing number 10. We didn't see him in the first set either, so a few variations, a few wrinkles on the substitution pattern for the Tigers. Coach Matthews is going to see if he can pull the right strings. As Cohen serves for the Tigers. Sam Richardson tries the little surprise dunk attack by the setter, and it was unsuccessful. We're back to 6-4 as Tyler Cohen again goes back to serve for St. John Fisher. Ranked number 11 in the country in the preseason poll. That serve finds net. And Wittenberg will serve now at 7-4. As Clamfoth will check back in as the libero goes out in the rotation. Good serve on that one by Reese Monin. Tigers are scrambling to defend, and they do successfully get it back over. Oh, there's the little change of pace attack once again for the Cardinals. St. John Fisher is located in Rochester, New York. I had to double check that because when I mentioned earlier that I was sure they were headed back to a lot of snow, I now can confirm that I'm certain of that. So I knew they were in New York. I knew they were in upstate New York. But yes, Rochester will probably, I wonder if these guys will just hang out here for the weekend. It's probably a better place to be than in all the snow there. So Tigers scrambling on this defense on that one, and they pay the price as St. John Fisher narrows the Wittenberg advantage to 7-6. The key to that one was a serve that got the Tigers all out of sorts. And once they barely got it back over, that allowed St. John Fisher to take advantage with a good attack. Here's a change of pace serve and a change of pace attack. Once again, the Cardinals did a nice job bringing that one back. The Tigers are now scrambled to stay in it, forcing a back row attempt, and then someone was in the net. So I'm not sure who it was, but no argument from St. John Fisher. Well, it looks like the coach is arguing about something. Some good scrambling by the Tigers on that one to keep that one going.
Yeah, that was a really good first dig out of number 12, Trace LaRobadier.
Yeah, that one kept that one going for the Cardinals, and then of course the Tigers had a real good scramble as well. So here's Richardson. He rips a good serve there. But boy, the best teams, and Wittenberg had a legendary women's volleyball coach here, Paco Labrador, who's now the head coach at the Naval Academy. And traveling with him over the years, he used to tell me about defense wins. And of course, it probably wins and everything, especially for a lacrosse guy like you, that plays defense. So of course you're going to tell me the defense wins. But you could really see it there. They brought that serve up quickly and just turned it into offense immediately. And the Tigers reply in kind. Was that Halverson on that one?
That was Michael York.
That was York on that one. York. So, yeah, Michael York with a nice attack. But again, set up by a nice dig off of a pretty good serve. So, Tigers still leading 9-7 here, midway through the second set. St. John Fisher did take the first one 25-21 with a late burst. An 8-1 run keyed that one. So there's another evidence of St. John Fisher doing what good teams do, bringing the ball up quickly. And the Tigers are going to continue to sub in some different players. We have a fancy, I guess we'll call that a hairdo. I like it. Number 4 there for the Wittenberg Tigers. That's Aaron Miller. He's a junior. He's in there for defense, back row defense. I think Coach Matthews has definitely identified maybe the subs he's been using are defensive subs. So it looks like he's gone away from that 6-2. We haven't seen Diaz de Padilla in this set. So definitely changing up the system a little bit here as St. John Fisher sends that serve long. And we are at 10-8 in favor of the Wittenberg Tigers. And Kurt Clamfoth will serve. He's a senior, standing 6'6" out of Gahanna, Lincoln, over near Columbus. That attack goes long. There's the timing of that middle hit. It's been so successful for St. John Fisher, but that one, the attacker really caught the ball a little behind him.
Yeah, and that's just 2 free points out of St. John Fisher's.
I'm with you on that one.
Hitting the ball out of bounds.
Maybe some momentum for the Tigers if they can build on it here. Again with the off-speed serve. Well, that felt like one the Tigers would like to have back. The The Cardinals go with just a little dump over attack attempt, but Wittenberg was geared up for something much harder, and the block goes out off the Wittenberg player, Suppan, and we're back to 11-9. But again, we have a long serve. The Tigers are doing, I guess that must be a thing because I think both teams have been doing that.
Both teams have been doing this.
Yes, so whatever, this is all new to me.
Having fun.
I've seen some men's volleyball, but not a lot. Wittenberg started the program back in 2016. I actually did all the promotional work announcing them in 2015 before moving into a new role at Wittenberg at the time. So this is really my first full match here, so I'm enjoying this. Suppan with a big serve. Boy, but once again brought up beautifully, and then the little dump over attack through the middle.
Yeah, St. John's keeps on attacking the middle of the court on
They have
Wittenberg.
definitely identified that as a soft spot. That is for sure. Yeah, and I think Wittenberg's going to have to keep thinking about how they're going to – I mean, obviously you got to defend the big one, but you got to be able to, the fastball and the curveball. So the Tigers lead 12-10. That attack is brought back by St. John Fisher. And once again, they efficiently put one to the floor as number 9, Jake Baker, finishes that point. So I think we're back to 12-11. The scoreboard hasn't caught up with it yet, but pretty sure that's 12-11. There's a good dig there by Aaron Miller. We just talked about maybe he was in for some defense, and he does a nice job bringing that serve up. And you can see he gets a hug from Coach Matthews. I think we have identified maybe what they identified in that. Yeah, now the scoreboard is definitely off. I think it's 13-11. Oh, now they're saying 12-12. I don't think that's right. We have some scoreboard issues at the moment. They're just trying to make sure they got the score right. I think it's 13-11, 13-12.
Yep,
13-11. Okay, 13-11.
Right,
yeah, I think that's where I was with it, but yep. So 13-11, Wittenberg, and Eli Halverson will step back to serve. It's a good serve. He drilled that one right over toward the line, and now the Tigers will try to take advantage, and they do. Give Michael Yerk another kill. He had 6 in that first set. That's at least 2 in this one. And Halverson will step back with the Tigers leading 14-11. I don't know whether they're trying to see the... Oh, and that's a service ace, clean winner. Leads to a very interesting celebration over here. Now, I think the number is sticking in the little pad there. I think we need to get Jonathan on it. Something's wrong with the scoreboard. Have him get Jonathan. We're having some scoreboard issues. You can tell that the scoreboard is kind of sticking in a weird way. So here comes Joey Antonelli, and he's going to hustle over here and see if he can help us with that. Because, yeah, you can tell the numbers are sticking or something. The poor young lady who's trying to get it to work. Oh. Aaron Miller tried to help, but apparently he was told not to help or something. So I think the score is 14-11, or is it 15-11?
I'm pretty sure it's 13-11.
Well, it was 13-11 on the one serve, so I know it's at least.
Oh, yeah. Now it should be 14-11.
I feel like it's No, the live stats have 15-11. I think that actually probably is right. I think on Halverson's first serve, and then we've actually had 2 in a row because then they had the ace. So, yeah. So I think it is 15-11. And we're back in action. Halverson with another good serve. Oh, but that's where good defense, we just talked about it. St. John Fisher, they are really good at bringing those big serves back in play in a spot where the setter can handle it. I mean, it's one thing to dig it. It's another thing to.
It's a hard ball too.
Right, and it's another thing to really
fast.
to put that thing right where you can see Eli Halverson's limping a little. We saw him getting his ankle taped earlier, and maybe that's why he's kind of shuffling in and out a little bit here. Oh, that's a nice little play. A little misdirection by the Tigers. Give Michael Yerk another kill. I'm going to check for sure. I believe that's 9 for him. I am right, 9. So had to scroll down the live stats to check. And Wittenberg's back ahead 16-12. So if you can hang on here to this lead as Reese Monin, the freshman from Carroll High School, serves. It's back to 16-13 as St. John Fisher records that point. But as I was saying, in rally scoring, if you can just avoid that big run like St. John Fisher had in that first set, then you give yourself a real chance. So the Tigers are still up 16-13, and the Cardinals will bring this one in. That's Jake Baker. Nice kill. Yerk is hot, so you might as well keep feeding the hot hand. 17-13 in favor of the Tigers, and Sam Richardson will step back to serve. As we said in that first set, the Tigers were running a 6-2 formation, so they were running the setters in and out. This set, Coach Matthews has chosen to do most of his subbing as a backline, frontline rotation. There's a good serve by Richardson. Leads to some net interplay. And now Yerk, and clearly Yerk. Oh, and then there was a stare down there, and I think we're going to have a warning. That was a clear If you ever call taunting, that was clearly number 8 for Gavin Newman. He let Yerk know that he officially, and now I think there's some sort of warning going into the books too. That was a clear, and now they're both right at the net again, so that's interesting.
Looks like St. John's Fisher has identified who, our really good kill guy is.
You're right, yeah. I mean, he's the leading hitter right now. Yep. He's clearly doing the job as a service error goes wide. Interestingly enough, Sam Richardson either read the serve or just happened to be going there because that's where the rotation was going to lead him, but he was running right up where that serve was going to end up if it had cleared the net. So the Tigers restore a 4-point lead thanks to the service error, and we'll send Michael Yerk back to serve. Big moment here for the Tigers. They can kind of build on this, and he hits it long. So kind of a bummer on that one. And Yerk will now check out as the rotation favors the defensive specialist, Aaron Miller. And he'll come in for a couple of rotations to play that back line. Give the Tigers maybe some defensive cover. As we've been talking about, they've been having some trouble covering those middle shots, those middle attack attempts by the Cardinals. So Gavin Newman, who had a little interesting exchange at the net earlier with Michael Yerk of the Tigers. He serves that point for the Cardinals. And we're back to 18-16. I think Coach Matthews, yes, there he goes with the timeout. So sensing that the momentum might be shifting a little, Coach Matthews calls the timeout. He's going to sit his team down and maybe have a little conversation about maybe what they can do differently here. I mean, again, it seems like they're defending that middle a little better. You can see they've changed some things up with their defensive rotation here. Interestingly enough, doesn't look like they're really talking much strategy back there. Coach Matthews and Coach Roark are probably just trying to settle their team down a little. The Tigers had a 4-point lead, and we're holding on to it for a good chunk of the middle part of this set. But St. John Fisher now with a 2-point run is back to within 2 and has the serve as well. So it's a big moment here. You can kind of sense it. I mean, you either go up 3 with your serve or you go back only up 1 with the other team clearly having the momentum.
Yeah, you definitely need a healthy cushion.
Yeah, you can sense it with the rally scoring. You don't want to, especially after you've been leading by 4. I mean, you can, every sport has its momentum swings, and I think Coach Matthews clearly sensed that the Cardinals had found a little something with this rotation, and were hoping to exploit it. So we've seen a couple of these timeouts where then they come right out of the timeout and send a service long, so we can always hope for that for Wittenberg. But I guess what would really be better would be to bring up a real hard serve and go 1-2-3 and knock it down and restore that lead with some emphasis. So once again, Newman for the Cardinals a serve, his team trailing 18-16, but up a set after winning set number 1, 25-21. There's a really good serve. Someone was in the net.
Yep.
If I was a coach, I would be really annoyed with the idea that somebody was in the net on the serve. That seems like a really bad moment to be in the net. I don't know. I mean, I play tennis, and if I was ever in the net while my partner was serving, my partner would be really upset with me. So the Tigers are back serve. Oh, wow, and a little change of direction. And that worked out perfectly for Trajan Kress. And the Tigers have restored a 4-point lead. 2 really unlikely points. And all of a sudden the Tigers are back up 20-16. So Kress again will serve, and he sends that one long. You hate to see that because you had a little momentum going. Like we said, maybe a little luck involved, but it felt like they had momentum. So Kress will check out. The Tigers come back in with Halverson. So number 5, Casey Jackson, he'll serve for the Cardinals. Gets the Tigers out of system immediately, and it leads to a block. There wasn't a whole lot that Halverson could do with that one. The only thing, maybe we'd just try to bump it long and live to fight another day, but his attack attempt is quickly brought to the floor, and we're back to 2018. So once again, the Cardinals sensing a little momentum here. My guess is if they win this point, we'll see a timeout from the Tigers. And as fortune would have it, another long serve and another great celebration over there, led by my man Moose Harper. So he's letting everyone know. 21-18 in favor of the Tigers, and probably the guy you want serving, Tom Suppan, back there. He's been pretty consistent with these. Let's hope I didn't jinx him. Oh, I didn't. That was a heck of a serve and a really nice dig. Ooh, just missed it. Halverson's attack attempt goes just wide. That's too bad we couldn't gather in a few serves on Suppan's right arm, but here come the Cardinals. Not a very good dig there, but the Tigers are going to be able to attack off it anyway. And now it's the Cardinals that are a little out of system, but it works out okay as their attack attempt goes off the block. And they are as close as they've been really since about the 10-point mark in this set at 21-20. St. John Fisher again with the serve, again with not a great return, but the Tigers are able to attack off it anyway. You can see Halverson is definitely limping a bit. He had that kill there. Wait, as a coach, you got a guy who's a key guy for you, and he's already limping around a little bit. I would imagine you got to be thinking how to be careful with a guy like that. I mean, you want him for the long term this season. There's a nice set there. Newman putting it right where his middle hitter could go at it. That was Ian Rao. He leads the Cardinals with 8 kills in this match on just 10 attempts. So he's really hitting at a high level. 8 and 9. There's a good serve by St. John Fisher, trailing by just 1 here in set number 2. And that's Reese Monin knocking it off the block. And the Tigers restore that 2-point advantage. And Monin now will step back and serve. The freshman from Xenia, Ohio. He went to Carroll High School. And he will step up here with his team leading 23-21. And a miscommunication along the back line now puts the Tigers within a point of leveling this match. I would imagine your coach, if 2 guys looked at each other and both let it go, you'd be hearing about it.
It wouldn't be too good.
You'd be hearing about it. So here goes Mon, and he has a chance to serve this one out, and he puts it in the bottom of the net. So momentum still feels like it's on the Tigers' side, but and there's Coach Matthews talking to his freshman. I think he probably had a message of, I wanted that one in the court. Wasn't worried about how hard it was. I wanted it in the court. Tigers still have a chance to close this one out. There's a set of
misdirection by number 14.
I don't think that was
Sam
intentional.
Richardson.
I think Sam Richardson, I don't think he meant to. Maybe I'm wrong, but that one spun in a way that made me think I don't think he wanted to do that. But the
worked.
Wittenberg Tigers will take it. Yes, it worked. That's right. And the homestanding Tigers are level at 1 apiece with St. John Fisher. So we're going to step aside, take a timeout. Can we do that there, producer man? All right. Henry says he's ready. So you're listening to Wittenberg Men's Volleyball on the Tiger Sports Network.
I don't need giant stadiums. I don't need to be lectured. The world telling me how it's all falling apart before I've even gotten started. What I need is my own path. I need mentors, advisors, and brilliant minds who put just as much into my success as I do. I need more than a university. I need a partner who believes that a higher education takes all of us.
I'm thrilled to be at Wittenberg at this time and place, as the university is perfectly positioned to welcome an esports program like none other. Wittenberg's impressive athletics tradition and Tiger Up spirit, mixed with a strong commitment to student success, will allow for a program that competes at the highest level while also caring deeply for each player, both personally and professionally. Esports at Wittenberg will not only be about gaming, but will also be about changing the game. Together, we will build a supportive, dynamic community as we bring our own distinct light to the global phenomenon of esports right here in Springfield, Ohio. It's time to Tiger Up. Let's go.
To rise above the competition, generations of Wittenberg Tigers have been encouraged to reach down deep for something more. More than skill or strength, more than precision or power, they were asked to do something extra, something beyond themselves. They needed to Tiger Up. Coined by a Hall of Fame coach and chanted repeatedly for decades since, Tiger Up serves as the rallying cry for championship teams and All-American performances. It calls us to greater determination and an unwavering spirit. To wear the red and white of Wittenberg is an honor, a tradition of excellence to uphold. So is the opportunity to Tiger Up. It's more than a phrase, it's a legacy that binds us, uniting us in victorious celebration and spurring us on to greater heights, even in defeat. Tiger Up echoes across campus, bridging the past and the present as we stand together as Wittenberg Tigers. With the trademark now officially ours, we embrace a new era where the roar of the Tigers resounds louder than ever before. And through it, we will continue to define what it means to compete at the highest levels, inspired by tradition and in full embrace of a promising future. Tiger Up.
All right, back here at Pam Evans Smith Arena, Wittenberg Men's Volleyball. We've had two great sets, and two outstanding teams are tied at 1 apiece. St. John Fisher won the first one 25-21, but Wittenberg came back and won the second one 25-22. So we head to set number 3, and we have some lineup shifts by the Tigers, moving some players in and out. But Andrew, we were just taking a look at these stats, and as we've identified, that middle hitting for St. John Fisher is pretty productive.
Yeah, Ian Rue.
Wow, yeah. Wow.
8 kills on 9 attempts.
Yes, 778. He does have one error, but, I mean, no, you can't be perfect. Wow, like cow. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like cow. There we go. Anyway, so the point is that is really, I mean, if you can attack, if you have a guy attacking at a percentage like that. Now, Wittenberg does, Michael Yerk is attacking at a real nice percentage too. 10 successful kills on 15 swings. So without an error. That's pretty big too, to do it without an error. So we are underway here in set number 3, and we started off with a service that wasn't even close. So Michael Yerk, we were just giving him his props for his offense, but he commits his 3rd service error against 1 ace in 7 attempts. So not what the Tigers wanted to start out this set. You obviously live with a few service errors here and there, but certainly wanted to start. I think Coach Matthews would have liked to have started out with a a little more momentum than that. So there it goes. As
goes both ways.
Gavin Newman, the setter for the Cardinals, drops one in the net, and we are all tied up at 1 apiece. And Moose Harper, we haven't seen him the first 2 sets. He steps back to serve. Tigers covered that middle hit attack a little better that time and weren't able to get an attack off it. There's a nice pancake dig. Forces St. John Fisher, and there we have a touch. Yeah, I think the setter, Newman, I think he was unable. He did a nice job bringing that set back, but in the meantime, touched the stanchion there, and Wittenberg's ahead to 2-1. So the Moose is loose again. Another good serve. And it leads to an overpass that goes out. Now Moose has been leading the cheers over there for 2 sets, so now his teammates return the favor as he steps back for a 3rd straight serve attempt. So Coach Matthews really working a lot of guys in here in the early going. And he's rewarded with a service ace. So
they're rowing the boats down there.
And they're rowing the boats, and we got Aaron Miller jumping around with his crazy haircut with the tiger stripes in it. He's celebrating with Moose, and we're up 4-1 here in the early going for the Wittenberg Tigers. His flat serve is definitely giving St. John Fisher some trouble as Halverson's attempt goes a little long. He points to himself. He feels like he should have had that one. Moose will check out here in favor of Dominic Smith, the libero for the Tigers. 4-2 as Casey Jackson steps back to serve. Tigers bring that one up nicely, and Suppan attacks off it. They're hoping for a touch, but they don't get one. And St. John Fisher's back within 1 at 4-3. Again, 1 set all here at Ham Evans Smith Arena, the opener of the 24 men's volleyball season. That serve tips off the net. The Tigers struggle to get it back. And now they'll try to attack, and there's Halverson. We mentioned his gimpy ankle, but it doesn't seem to affect him on that one. He dropped that ball to the floor with some meaning. 6'4" sophomore outside hitter from Hamilton, Ohio. He played at Baden High School, a powerhouse in a lot of different sports, including men's volleyball. And Tom Suppan will step back to serve with his team leading 5-3, and his serve goes long. I was complimenting his serve earlier. I guess I didn't give him the announcer's jinx right away, so it looks like it was, 2 later. So I don't think it counts as an announcer's jinx. I don't think so.
I agree.
5-4 Tigers. The setter, Richardson, attacks. Oh, some miscommunication maybe there. 2 guys kind of ready to dive, but neither one dove. And now we're back to 5-all. Serving for the Cardinals is Stella, and Aaron Miller brings it back for Wittenberg. There's Eli Halverson. Maybe he's starting to get going. The Tigers' leading hitter from a year ago. That's 2 kills in this set to go along with 6 over the first 2. Michael Urich, who leads the Tigers in kills today with 10, he's back in this one. And Halverson's back to serve. He'll jump serve. Boy, he just doesn't look right. He looked like his steps were off there, maybe favoring the one ankle. And he'll check out here in favor of Jake Downs, sophomore libero and defensive specialist. So Downs will come in. And stepping back to serve will be Tyler Cohen for the Cardinals. Got a little delay there. I don't know if that was the scoreboard again or not, but we're all tied up at 6 apiece. Tigers bring that one up well. Force a miscommunication out of the Cardinals. See if the Tigers can take advantage here. We'll go back to Urich again. The block attempt goes wide, so some miscommunication again. We talked about that. It doesn't matter the sport if you're not communicating, right? And Moose will come back in. The Moose will be loose again on this point. Chance to play the front row. In the past, we've seen him in the back row. Here's Reese Monin with the serve, and that one goes way out. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there, but it didn't work regardless. So we're back at 7 apiece. Hate to lose that momentum right after gaining it for the Tigers. Ryan Maurer and Andrew Barnes up here, high atop Pam Evans Smith Arena. Tied at 7, tied at 1 set apiece. Here's a battle at the net. A little miscommunication now for the Tigers. Back row attack from Tom Suppan. Cardinals are back at it again. Miscommunication. See if the Tigers can take advantage of this one. Not quite have their timing down on that one. Oh. After all that, a broken play right in the middle of the floor. And once again, Rao is the guy who's kind of the beneficiary. He steps right in the middle there. And
yeah, that was a really long sequence there.
That was. Had a couple of little broken moments in the middle there, but the Cardinals who eventually got the best of it. And they have their first, well, I guess their second lead of the game of this set. They were ahead 1-0 at the very start of it. Now they're ahead 8-7. Here's Moose attempting the slide attempt. And there's the setter, Jack Newman, getting a rare opportunity to kill, to take a swing from the outside pin, and he knocks it down. So he took the set from the libero, and he made it kind of probably threw the Tigers a little out of sync there, not realizing that the setter was about to take a swing. Oh, there's a nice one. That's where you're looking for the setter to do that. We've seen Sam Richardson try that a couple times, but that one was a perfect time to do it. St. John Fisher was not ready in any way, shape, or form for that one. And the Tigers are back within a point at 9-8. Richardson will step back to serve. And the lefty takes the big, that's a big serve, a really good one. And it's back over quickly to the Tigers, who will send Michael Yerk up for it. And his attack eventually hits the floor. So give the kill to Yerk. Give him 12 in the match, leading both teams. And Richardson will step back to serve again with this set, number 3, knotted at 9, and the match knotted at a set apiece. Oh, there's the serve we were not looking for. He points to himself. He knows he kind of had a mistimed jump on that serve. So St. John Fisher goes back ahead, 10-9. I wonder if we've seen some tired legs in this set here. We've seen a few more service errors than we saw the first 2 sets. There's a good serve there by St. John Fisher. Tigers are out of system and will have to just try to send this one over. And Suppan sends it into the net. I believe it's 11-9. The scoreboard might be stuck again. She is pressing buttons feverishly there. Once again, timing is difficult because there it goes, 11-9. Yep, I think that's right. Yep. So we're back to 11-9. There's Jonathan coming out. He's going to probably have to stand nearby. Our facilities manager knows how to get. That's what they pay him the big bucks. Another good serve for St. John Fisher. The Tigers bring that one. Ooh. Tigers brought that one up well, but the timing of the set versus the attack off the outside pin was not as concise as they would have liked. And we're back to 12-9 now, the largest lead for either team in this set. Tigers led early 4-1. And that overpass is going to let St. John Fisher have another attack attempt through the middle. And it once again goes down. That's Griffin Stella. And he is now with 7 kills for the Cardinals. And the Tigers are going to take a relatively early timeout as Coach Matthews may be sensing that a little bit of momentum is going the wrong way for the Wittenberg Tigers. So we saw a little change in tactics from set 1 to set 2. Some of those tactics looks like they're still in play, although it doesn't feel like they're moving the defensive players in quite as much. Looks like this is maybe a players huddle led. as the Tigers are. Coach Matthews is kind of letting his team talk it out. Coach Matthews is in his 3rd season for Wittenberg. He was part of the inaugural recruiting class here at Wittenberg in terms of men's volleyball. So he is back at his alma mater after a very successful run coaching volleyball at University of Kentucky. So he has done a nice job here kind of building things back. And last year even led the team to a share of first place in the MCVL regular season standings. Unfortunately, they were knocked out in the semifinals of the conference tournament. But I think from talking to them, I get the sense it's given a little fuel to the fire, and they're ready to, with a young team, with a lot of sophomores and even some freshmen making some key contributions for the Tigers. Kind of an interesting mix. There's several seniors, and then there's several sophomores that are getting a lot of the playing time. So,
yeah, it's important to get your young guys in there. It's the first match of the season, so see how everybody plays.
Yeah, like I said, it is interesting. We've seen, you can tell Coach Matthews is really moving some people around and checking things out and just seeing who's kind of responding, I would imagine. Not too worried about, not to say they're not worried about winning and losing. That's not what I'm saying, but I think these are the matches where you find that winning combination.
Yep.
So we have a serve out, brings us back to 13-10 out of that timeout. And now, now Michael Yerk sends it long. Like I say, all I can come up with is that maybe in set 3 we're starting to see some tired legs because we're seeing a lot of, these serves aren't close, and we've seen a bunch of them in a row here.
The strength is still there.
Strength is still there. They're still hitting it hard. But, yeah, they are sending some of these serves well past the – let's put it this way. These have not been difficult calls for most of these. So Newman will step back, the setter for the Cardinals, and he will send it long. So continuing the theme, I believe that's 3 straight points now with service errors. And the Moose Harper will step back, sophomore from Columbus, Ohio. Part of Student Senate. He's involved in all kinds of different activities around campus. Kind of a big personality Moose has. Kind of fits the name, I suppose. Wow, I'm surprised that you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah, I guess we'll go with a heck of a play by the setter because Newman jumped over the net, was able to avoid touching it, and kind of steer that set back to a teammate who actually timed it up perfectly and knocked it down. So point out for the Cardinals. Good play by Dominic Smith to keep that ball alive, but this one goes to the floor. So the Cardinals are definitely asserting themselves, kind of the way we saw in the middle of that, or late in that first set, where we were at 15 all, and they went on an 8-1 run to really take control. The Tigers battled back to within 3 at one point, but that one's out. So we continue our run of occasional points mixed with a lot of missed serves. And now Tom Suppan will see if he can kind of turn the tide for Wittenberg as they trail 16-12 in set number 3. Big serve goes long. So we saw him having a lot of success with that serve in the first set, but he joined. I guess it must be contagious.
Yeah, it looks like just both teams just can't find consistency on the serves.
Maybe trying to do a little too much here with that middle of set 3. There's an attack by Halverson that's brought back by the Cardinals. And the Tigers get a block. We mentioned in the second set that they did not have a single block in the first set. At least one that hit the floor, we'll put it that way, to record a point. So that is a big one for the Tigers. They had 4 in that second set. So that's their first one, I believe, in this set. And we're back to within 17-13. And Halverson will serve. He is still – he's having trouble with his steps there. He keeps missing. Eli's now up to – he doesn't have quite as many service errors as I thought. I guess that's his 3rd service error, but he's definitely missed his last few. There's a big attack brought back by the Cardinals. They're going to try again. Once again, the Tigers. The Tigers really wanted that one. Understandably, they're now down 6. Imagine Coach Matthews, if they lose this point, will call a timeout and just see if he can rally the troops. They now trail 19-13, and the Cardinals are in firm control now. Another block. Some little bit of trash talk on the.
And here comes Matthews
on the black.
with the timeout.
Yeah, I think that's. They only get 2 a set, so you got to save them and use them wisely. And when you're down 7 in rally scoring, that's when you got to do it. So the Tigers will use their last timeout, trailing by 7. Set number 3, we're all even at 1 set apiece. But St. John Fisher, who comes into this ranked number 11 in the preseason poll by the American Volleyball Coaches Association, are definitely in firm control here. We mentioned Ian Rao. He's been hot for St. John Fisher. He's got 10 kills against 1 error in 12 attempts for a 750 attack percentage. He leads the Cardinals with 12.5 points scored. On the flip side, the Tigers, Michael Yerk, he's taken a lot more swings, 25. He's got 12 kills. He's got 2 errors and a 400 hitting percentage. He's scored 13 points. Eli Halverson has scored 12 for the Tigers. He has 9 kills. Sam Richardson with 20 assists for the Tigers compared to 24 for his counterpart for St. John Fisher. And Gavin Newman. Both setters have 2 kills in the match. Newman's taken quite a few more swings at 11 versus 5 for Richardson. So we're back on the floor, ready to go. Tyler Cohen will bring it into play for St. John Fisher. The Tigers definitely drew that play up, and it worked to perfection. A little misdirection, I don't know, fake out, I guess you call it. I'm sure they have a great name for it in volleyball. I don't know it. And Moose Harper will check back in. So that was a nicely drawn up play. Well done. And the Tigers are actually going to make a couple of substitutions here. Number 24, we haven't seen Luke Teeters in the match. He's a junior middle blocker, and he's going to step back and serve for Reese Monin. So just keep continuing to try to change the mix and see what works, is Coach Matthews. I kind of like that. It keeps a lot of guys in, their heads in the game. You got to know that you may be coming in. And there's the Tigers. They had the block up. They had 3 blockers in the vicinity, but unfortunately it landed on their side of the net. And I don't know they're discussing whether or not they're going to do it looks like he's going to come out in favor of the libero on this one. So Dominic Smith back in for the Tigers, who trail 21-14. And Jake Baker will serve it in for the Cardinals. Once again, some problems on the service return, or serve receive, I guess I should say. Led to some issues there for the Tigers. Attack through the middle. Here, this time the Tigers bring it back up. Sam Richardson with a real nice attack there. Both setters getting into the act. Now the Tigers are going to have to overpass there. And there's the middle attack, and we finally, it took Moose to stop the middle attack. So there it goes. That's where St. John Fisher has been most dangerous tonight, coming right through the middle. But on that one, Moose Harper got himself a block, and the Tigers are back within 6. And Sam Richardson will serve it in. Good serve there, but once again, St. John Fisher with a good answer. Tigers with a block. And that one, the second block is unsuccessful. And St. John Fisher restores that 7-point advantage. So Cardinals looking to close this one out, and in the process taking a 2-1 lead. Ian Rao will step back to serve. He leads the Cardinals offensively. That one, on the other hand, is his 4th service error against 2 service aces. So the Tigers will sub in Aaron Miller, and he'll go back to serve. White, the fancy hairdo. We mentioned that earlier. Kind of liking all that color. You going with that? No one would see it under your helmet anyway.
Yeah, nobody would really see it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I have the long hair.
There you go. And we have someone in the net for St. John Fisher. So that will go in as an attack error for the Cardinals. And now the Tigers will step up. Miller will serve again, trailing 22-17. So they took a little bite out of this lead, but they're going to need to put together a run here to get the Cardinals uncomfortable. Ooh, there's a big attack. That one's down. Count it for Casey Jackson. Came across nicely on that one. Talked about earlier, not the tallest team out there, but these guys are all about 6'2", and they can jump really well. And hey, it's about how high you get up over the net as opposed to your standing height, right? So here's Newman with the serve. A nice dig serve receive there. Leads to a good attack attempt. Funny how that works. When I mentioned Paco Labrador earlier, right? Paco, I mean, that's what he would have told you. That's what he used to tell me. I didn't know much about volleyball, and he said, well, start with the serve receive. If you can't put a serve receive on the setter's hands, it makes everything else more difficult. So here's Moose on the serve. Cardinals get a little bit out of system, but whew, that's a really good attack from Gabe Robadier, and that brings St. John Fisher to within a point of taking a 2-1 advantage in this match. The server will be Casey Jackson. His team leads 24-18. Tom Suppan saves off that set point with a good attack through the block. And now he'll step back and serve and see if he can swing a few jump serves in to get the Tigers back a little closer. He's got 1 service ace against 4 service errors in this one. So an all or nothing serve, and he's going to go after it again. That's a good one. Really nice dig on that. The Tigers are able to get the Cardinals scrambling a little. And that one's out just barely, but I think that is right. Just a couple inches out, and the Tigers are back within 24-20. At the very least, Andrew, we can talk about the fact that as we go to a timeout, this is a young Tigers team. We talked about there are a couple seniors out there playing a lot, but what we've seen is a lot of freshmen, sophomores. And so you got to feel pretty good about hanging with the 11th ranked team in the country.
Yeah, only 3 seniors on the team, on the Wittenberg men's volleyball team.
Yeah, and so, I mean, the number 11 team comes in here on opening night. And I'll put it this way, Wittenberg has substituted pretty liberally in this match. I don't think St. John Fisher has done anywhere near as much subbing. So they've played a lot of different players, a lot of young players. We've seen a lot of freshmen and sophomores getting opportunities. And, hey, looks like they're right in this. I mean, obviously this set is in the balance, but they came right back the last time. And, I mean, just the mere fact that St. John Fisher was willing to come here on the opening weekend tells me that they respect the quality of the opponent. St. John Fisher last year was 24-8, 3-3 in their league standings. So Suppan will step back and serve once again for the Tigers. Coach Nathan Matthews tied at a set apiece here. Pam Evans Smith Arena on opening night of the 2024 men's volleyball season. And that one goes long. So we talked about an all or nothing serve. That's probably the hardest serve I think we've seen out here of both teams. But it goes wanting, and St. John Fisher has a 25-20 win in set number 3. So we will go on to a 4th set. Wittenberg and St. John Fisher. You're watching Wittenberg Men's Volleyball on the Tiger Sports Network.
I don't need giant stadiums. I don't need to be lectured. The world telling me how it's all falling apart before I've even gotten started. What I need is my own pen. I need mentors, advisors, and brilliant minds who put just as much into my success as I do. I need more than a university. I need a partner who believes that a higher education takes all of us.
I'm thrilled to be at Wittenberg at this time and place, as the university is perfectly positioned to welcome an esports program like none other. Wittenberg's impressive athletics tradition and Tiger Up spirit, mixed with a strong commitment to student success, will allow for a program that competes at the highest level while also caring deeply for each player, both personally and professionally. Esports at Wittenberg will not only be about gaming, but will also be about changing the game. Together, we will build a supportive, dynamic community as we bring our own distinct light to the global phenomenon of esports right here in Springfield, Ohio. It's time to Tiger Up. Let's go.
To rise above the competition, generations of Wittenberg Tigers have been encouraged to reach down deep for something more. More than skill or strength, more than precision or power, they were asked to do something extra, something beyond themselves. They needed to Tiger Up. Coined by a Hall of Fame coach and chanted repeatedly for decades since, Tiger Up serves as the rallying cry for championship teams and All-American performances. It calls us to greater determination and an unwavering spirit. To wear the red and white of Wittenberg is an honor, a tradition of excellence to uphold. So is the opportunity to Tiger Up. It's more than a phrase, it's a legacy that binds us, uniting us in victorious celebration and spurring us on to greater heights, even in defeat. Tiger Up echoes across campus, bridging the past and the present as we stand together as Wittenberg Tigers. With the trademark.
All right, we're back here. Pam Evans Smith Arena, set number 4 between St. John Fisher and Wittenberg. And Andrew, we were looking at those stats there. There's some interesting things about their stats so far.
Yeah, St. John Fisher's players, it's really spread evenly with the points and kills. You have 2 guys, Casey Jackson and Gabe LaRobadier, with 6, and then Griffin Stella leading them with 8. And then on Wittenberg's side, we really have 2 guys leading up front with Michael York with 13 and Eli Halverson with 9.
And like we mentioned, it doesn't look like Wittenberg's been able to establish a third consistent, a consistent third offensive option. And actually, we have an interesting switch here now. Wittenberg's libero, the first 2 sets was Dominic Smith, but this set, it looks like it's going to be number 10, Jake Downs. We saw a little bit of Jake Downs in the first couple. I think we saw him in the second set mainly. I mean, but yeah, he has switched into the libero jersey, and he is going to be. I think there's only one guy who can be that guy in each set. I think is how it works. So you can see, I know volleyball. I like volleyball, but there are some intricacies that I don't quite know. So St. John Fisher will lead us off here in set number 4. The Cardinals, ranked number 11 in the country, they hold a 2-1 advantage. That's a really nice serve by Gavin Newman. Tigers are able to get it back, and nice block there to keep the point going. LaRobadier is going to try to get that one down, but the Tigers, get it back.
Tough touch right there.
That was a tough touch. Those odd-angled ones where they're coming from behind you are tough ones. And Trajan Kress was unable to complete the swing. So St. John Fisher leading 2-1, and now with a 1-0 advantage, and Gavin Newman, their outstanding setter, will step back and bring this one in. This one he puts into the net, and we're all even at 1 apiece. As I mentioned, St. John Fisher coming off a 24-8 season a year ago. Wittenberg coming off a 19-10 campaign. Arguably the best one in the relatively young history of this program. Started in 2016. There's Tom Suppan with a really nice serve. Now we got some scrambling around the net, and the Tigers get the advantage, and that one gets some people pretty excited. I think just thinking along with them, I mean, the fact that Aaron Miller was able to reach out and flick that dig up right in the middle of that scramble around the net really set the stage for a scrambling win, and that got Nathan Matthews, head coach of the Tigers, pretty fired up, as the Tigers are up 2-1 in the early going here. There's a kill that's going to go off the chest of Downs and to the floor, and we're back even at 2 apiece. At least he was in the way of it. At least he didn't get noggined, right? He didn't get domed by that one. That looked like he hit him right in the chest. So we're even at 2 apiece. Casey Jackson will step back for St. John Fisher. Out of Rochester, New York, a place that probably is going to be getting a lot of snow over the next 24 hours. So we'll be heading back to a winter wonderland there, as the Tigers are unable to bring that serve back. St. John Fisher takes a 3-2 lead. For Casey Jackson, that's his that's his first service ace. That one's brought back well by the Tigers, but the attack attempt goes wanting. An attempt to find that side of the court. Now we're at 4-2 in favor of St. John Fisher. Again, the Cardinals lead 2-1 in sets. They won the first and third. The Tigers won the second one. So Jackson hits that one long. And the Tigers' leading hitter, Michael Yerk, will step back in to the lineup, replacing Aaron Miller, who gets a lot of plaudits for some solid defensive work. And Trajan Kress will serve it for the Tigers. The big swing on that far pole, the opposite goes down for the Cardinals. Give Jake Baker the kill.
Yeah, nobody there in that corner.
No, they did not see that one coming. The Tigers didn't, and that's his 6th kill for Baker. It restores a 2-point advantage for the Cardinals. There's a middle attack. We've seen the Cardinals have a lot of success through the middle, and now the Tigers answer with freshman Reese Monin, and he'll now step back to serve. 5-4, the Tigers trailing in set number 4. The opening night of the 2024 men's volleyball season. And Monin drops that one in the net. Definitely not what Coach Matthews was looking for on that one. And St. John Fisher will step back with Tyler Cohen. His slick glasses that he wears, some goggles or glasses. So give him a little space-age look there, like he's... The Tigers go wanting on that attack attempt. That was number 19, Kirk Klamfoth. And now St. John Fisher has stepped out to a 7-4 lead. Cohen has a little slice serve he hits that seems to be pretty effective. He's unable to get the dig on that one on the little change of pace by the Tigers. And Sam Richardson will step back to serve with his team trailing 7-5. Richardson with the lefty's jump serve, drops it in short. That causes an overball, and Michael Yerk makes the Cardinals pay.
That's 2 more. Now he's up to 15 kills on the day.
Been an offensive force for this team for sure. Michael Yerk, just a sophomore out of Indianapolis, Indiana, 6'4" outside hitter. There's another nice serve by Sam Richardson. And a really good attack attempt. Really found the opening there, did Casey Jackson for the Cardinals. Really smart. He hit away from the block, found the hole, and we're back to 8-6 in favor of the Cardinals. There's a good attack through the middle. Klamfoff makes up for his error a couple points ago. Brings his Tigers back within 8-7. And Michael Yerk will check back in, and as will Trajan Kress. Again, Coach Matthews moving a lot of players in and out of this lineup. Kress replacing Dominic Smith. So Yerk will bring it in, trailing 8-7. With a little lighter touch on the serve than he had been. There's that middle attack for the Cardinals. The Tigers are able to get this one back. And now we have an attack error. I don't know if I've ever seen one quite in the net, quite like that one. So it must be something when they catch the ball.
I think it's when the bench catches the ball.
That must be when that celebration takes place. So you and I have decoded it, I think, now, Andrew. So
just guys having fun.
Absolutely. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. This should be fun. What isn't fun is hitting out serves. Michael Yerk does that for the Tigers there. St. John Fisher goes back ahead as Yerk will take a seat as his back row partner, Aaron Miller, will check back in. Good serve there for the Cardinals. Leads to a... Oh, and we have an over... See, now, I was right. So you can't... So the up official is saying that the attacker reached over the net. Now he and the down official are going to have a conversation about this. St. John Fisher's coaches are adamant that is the wrong call. I don't really know what the right call is, frankly. Because we saw earlier where the setter was allowed. So I guess it makes sense. The setter, as long as you're not attacking.
Yeah, because he came over and knocked the ball back.
He brought it back.
On their side.
Right. So we commented at the time that we didn't really realize you could do that either. We've seen several. Oh, and now the point does go back. So the down official ruled that the call should have gone in favor of St. John Fisher. Must be saying that he didn't reach over the net to make the attack. From up here, I'm not sure. I thought it looked much different than most of the other ones we've seen. But Coach Matthews is getting an explanation here. Glad you're along with us here on a rainy January night here in Springfield, Ohio. As we mentioned at the outset, this was supposed to be the Wittenberg Quad involving 4 teams, but unfortunately Wisconsin Lutheran was forced to cancel late last night when they learned that the winter storm was going to keep them home. Apparently there are blizzard conditions up in the Milwaukee area. Coach Matthews continues to get the explanation. I'm not sure if he was really arguing at that point, but the players are now dancing and having some fun. They're having a good time over there, if nothing else. So. St. John Fisher leading 10-8. They'll finally bring this one back in. There's a good swing for Trajan Kress. He'd been struggling a little bit. Missed the last 2, but he got that one. And the Tigers are back within 1. And now we'll do the dance because the ball reached the... So Klamfoth will serve for the Tigers. He'll float one in. Ugh, that looked like a lift of some sort. But it worked out quite well for the Cardinals. And they'll step back to serve with their lead restored at 11-9. Newman, the setter, he's up to 31 assists for St. John Fisher. And he will trigger this one. Good serve there. Tigers are going to just scramble around. They are not going to be able to get that one. And that will go down, I believe, as a block for the Cardinals. Whatever you call it, it was effective. And they have now stepped out to their biggest lead of the set at 12-9. St. John Fisher won sets number 1 and 3, and the Tigers responded with one in the middle. They're going to need a whole bunch more here if they're going to get back into this. That's Kress again, getting his second straight kill. And we're back to 12-10. Tom Suppan, the man with what I would estimate is the hardest serve we've seen on the floor tonight. He'll trigger. Big one there that skims off the tape, and now the Tigers will try to attack with it. Ooh.
Pulls it in.
I thought it was in. Did you think it was out? It was close.
It was in.
It was very, very close. I'll put it this way: there was one in the first set that was about the same spot.
Yep.
And he called that one out. So we'll take it. We'll take it. We're all for it here. That Tom Suppan serve travels long. Remember I was saying earlier that the Cardinals haven't really rotated too many players in. 2, 4, 6, 8. Just 8 players have gotten in and out of the lineup, whereas the Tigers have almost doubled that. So a lot of players playing a lot of different places. Oh, there was an attack attempt off the set by Richardson, and he hit the top of the tape, and unfortunately on the wrong side of the court, the ball will drop. So St. John Fisher now out to I think it's 15-11. It looks like the score, but maybe not. Maybe it's right, 14-11. There's an ace for Casey Jackson. I would think that he's thinking timeout here, possibly, Coach Matthews. Maybe one more, but there it goes. Yeah, you can kind of feel the momentum shifts in college volleyball, and can't let it get too far away from you, especially when you're down 2-1. So the total attacks for both teams, 99-97, so they're very even. The kills are 43-39 in favor of St. John Fisher. So again, we talked about Tigers with a lot of young players out there have to feel pretty good about how they're competing with the number 11 team in the preseason poll.
Yeah, and I really like what Coach Matthews does during the timeouts. He lets his team talk, and that really shows like the maturity of the program and the maturity of the players being able to talk amongst themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell and the players seem pretty quick to be discussing things. One other thing I've noticed this set is that the Tigers have played this set without Eli Halverson. We've talked about his gimpy ankle. We saw him getting taped up before the match, and he has definitely been favoring, one leg, we'll put it that way. With this being the season opener, I think if you're Coach Matthews, you're kind of taking a long view. If it's just something that's going to nag him for a while, I'm not sure you want to risk it, making it worse. You can see him hopping on it right now. He is definitely having trouble with that right ankle. He's limping pretty significantly.
Very
on
uncomfortable.
it. Yeah. So I know if I was Coach Matthews, and no one asked me to be, but I'll put myself in his shoes. I don't know if I'm having him play tomorrow against Penn State Altoona. This Wittenberg quad will continue. It's actually a trio at this point. As that serve sails long for Casey Jackson, we are without Wisconsin Lutheran, as we mentioned. They're in the throes of a snowstorm up there in Wisconsin, so which we would imagine St. John Fisher's campus probably will be by tomorrow. So maybe they'll just hang out and enjoy the rain with us here in Springfield. You never know. So we got the Dominic Smith checking in to hit a serve for the Tigers. Kind of a funky motion. See if he can throw them off a little bit. That one hits the pin for St. John Fisher. That attack attempt does. And so the Tigers are back within 2 at 15-13. Smith will again trigger this one in. See if he goes with kind of that funky little service motion he had there. Kind of definitely had St. John Fisher. I don't think they were expecting that one. So, of course, that's what you want to do when you throw an off-speed thing at him. Yep, similar serve. This time, the Cardinals are able to attack off it successfully. Whoa, wow. I guess no calls anywhere in there. It looked like a couple of near lifts, but we play on. Here's the attack for Cardinals, but it's brought back by the Tigers, and Yerk will attack with a. He's calling. The guy over here is calling it down. But
number 8, Gavin Newman.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is the ref the guy with the flag, I don't know if you call him a ref, an umpire, whatever you call him, he called that ball down. He actually pointed down. Coach Matthews got a little excited. The down umpire told him to settle down and keep letting the thing play. And to the Tigers' credit, they end up winning the point. So back to within 1. And another attack right through the middle. There go the St. John Fisher Cardinals. That's Griffin Stella. Give him his 10th kill on the day. That ties him with Ian Rao for the top spot on that team. And a 16-14 lead. There's a block. Tigers are able to bring that one back, and now Michael Yerk successfully attacks.
Tigers really keeping it close here.
They're doing a nice job. You can tell, like we talked about, this young team. You look at their counterparts with St. John Fisher. A few more seniors and juniors sprinkled into that roster than Wittenberg has. So checking in now will be number 24. That's Luke Teeters. We saw him briefly in one of the other sets. He's going to come in and trigger this serve in, and not successfully. So not the substitution that he wanted. And yeah. So the libero for this set, Jake Downs, he returns to the lineup for the Tigers. The libero of the previous 2 sets was Dominic Smith. He and Downs have switched jerseys here. And there's a block. The Tigers tried to attack through the middle. Cardinals were ready, and now they have a 3-point advantage restored at 18-15. The Cardinals have led pretty much wire to wire in this set. We had a nip and tuck first 2 sets that were split between the 2 teams. Last set was pretty much all Cardinals, and this one is right now shaping up to be more of the same. And that one goes off the block. Boy, for a second there I thought maybe they got the block. You can see no, they did get the block. Okay. There was a reaction on the court that made it look like they didn't think so, but our bench certainly thought so. So, sorry, we're right on the center of the tape there. We couldn't really see for sure where that landed. So, a good block for the Tigers. That leads to a good serve and a back row attack that's unsuccessful for the Cardinals, and the Tigers are back within 1 at 18-17. Sam Richardson, the sophomore setter for the Tigers, he'll trigger this one in as well. Sam's from Akron, Ohio. He played at Walsh Jesuit. Tigers with a good attack. Ooh, Downs with a good, a nice attempt to try to keep that one alive, but it was unsuccessful. And St. John Fisher restores the advantage at 2 at 19-17. So number 9, Jake Baker, he'll step back and serve for the Cardinals. Baker is a senior, outside hitter. He brings that one in. Tigers bring it back. And Michael Yerk does the rest. Give him 17 kills on the day. He's had a nice night.
He gets a lot of power behind those
He really
swings.
does. He gets up hard and gets a good angle on it. And now checking back in will be Aaron Miller and Trajan Kress for the Tigers. Miller and his multicolored tiger hair will take the swing and trigger this one in. Tigers trailing 19-18, down 2-1 against St. John Fisher. There's an attack from Tyler Cohen. Miller brings that one back. Tigers are not in a very good spot here.
Good
They're going to scramble. Here's Suppan going to try to win it. Forces the Cardinals a little out of system. But the little roll attempt goes down. Count it for Casey Jackson of the Cardinals. And they have now the first ones to reach 20 points in set number 4. And that will lead to a timeout. Looks like Coach Matthews will use his second and final timeout. Interesting spot. We've seen it where he's kind of countered momentum, but in this one, and again, he's letting the Tiger team kind of have their conversation on their own.
I think it's because they're out there. They're seeing how the game's going.
You can see Eli Halverson, the good player that we mentioned, the leading hitter for the Tigers last year. He's talking a lot to the team that's out there. on the floor. They're sitting, and you can see quite a bit of conversation from Halverson and Yerk, the two leading hitters for the Tigers. And now Coach Matthews will step back in. It's been the last 30 seconds of this timeout, giving his own version of the events. So Yerk leads the Tigers with 17 kills. He's hitting at .400 for the match. Halverson's still second on the team with 9 kills and a .353 attack percentage. But as we mentioned, he's clearly bothered by an ankle problem and has not played at all in this set. St. John Fisher will take the court again here at Pam Evans Smith Arena for a match against Penn State Altoona. That game match will start at noon tomorrow. You can watch that on a pay-per-view option that we will be offering tomorrow. It'll be video only, no audio. And then I'll be back on the call. I don't know if Andrew will be joining me or not tomorrow, but
I do not know.
Anyway, Andrew wears a bunch of different hats for us here as one of our student workers. And anyway, so we're back in 20-18. And I mentioned again, so just to complete the thought, Wittenberg then will play at Penn State Altoona in the final match of what was intended to be a quad, but minus the snowbound Wisconsin Lutheran team is a trio or a triple. I don't know. Triple, I guess. I like that better. A little triple. There's an attack out of the middle, and it's successful again. Boy, St. John Fisher, they've had a recipe, and it's worked. They're now within 4 points of closing out this match. Gavin Newman will step back, the setter for the Cardinals. He has 1 service ace and 6 service errors in this match, but he's done the job offensively. 4 kills against no errors, and that's a service ace as it hits off the tape. To complete the thought, Newman with 4 kills and a .286 attack percentage, but more importantly, he's quarterbacked the offense quite well, 34 assists. So Newman will serve again. St. John Fisher now leading 22-19. Good serve again. Leads to the overball. And St. John Fisher closes that one down, and they're within 2 of the match now at 23-19. Once again, catching the Tigers in a tough rotation, clearly. And Newman's going to take advantage. I'm going to imagine he's going to put this one right in that same area. He does. Richardson now with the set, and Kress with the kill. Didn't go with a lot of power on that one, but he got it through the block. And the Tigers are back within 3 at 23-20. Suppan with the serve. We saw this in the first set where they made a little run late in the match, or late in the set, on Suppan's serve. He has probably what we would estimate to be the hardest serve for either team out here. He's going to need it. That's a big one there, but it's brought back nicely by St. John Fisher. And the ball is down off the block, so St. John Fisher has escaped the big serve of Suppan. And now they have themselves 4 match points. 24-20 is the advantage for St. John Fisher. And Casey Jackson, who has served quite well today, will bring the jump serve in. There's Kress. He responds with we haven't seen him put that ball down with that kind of authority, have we?
Yeah, I think that might be his 4th or 5th kill just this set.
It's his 5th kill. Yeah, I don't know if he had any kills going into this set, but the authority with which he put that one down said that he's hoping to extend this match, so he'll step back and serve now. Trajan Kress. Sophomore, 6'4" outside hitter from Cincinnati, Ohio. But his serve is brought back nicely. And the St. John Fisher Cardinals show us why they're ranked in the national poll to start the season. So chalk up a 3-1 win for the St. John Fisher Cardinals, the 11th ranked team in the country from Rochester, New York. In the season opener for both the Wittenberg Tigers and St. John Fisher Cardinals. So any final thoughts? Like we talked about, the Tigers definitely hampered by the fact that they did not have all of the bullets in their gun. With Eli Halverson unable to play the 4th set.
Yeah, they really kept it close. Every match, the Tigers really kept it close. I think serving really hurt the Tigers today.
A little bit, yeah, and it's just it seemed like the balance thing too. We talked about that a little bit, and the Tigers will go over and salute their fans and let them know they appreciate it. And yeah, it was a good match. Like we talked about, this is a young Wittenberg team. There's a couple of seniors mixed in there, but really a lot of the people doing a lot of the work out there are freshmen, or a lot of sophomores, and then a few juniors. So, any final thoughts here as we wrap this up? As we mentioned, was supposed to be a Wittenberg quad. It'll be a trio of teams now. So St. John Fisher will take on Penn State Altoona. They will take that court at noon tomorrow. That will be a pay-per-view match that you can see. The link is available on WittenbergTigers.com. And then Wittenberg will take the court again with a regular scheduled YouTube video that we will have audio and video. That will be 2:30 start time, and that will also be against Penn State Altoona. So one final time, the score here, final score, 3-1 in favor of St. John Fisher. The Wittenberg Tigers dropped to 0-1 on the young season, and both these teams will be right back in action tomorrow. So thanks, everyone, for joining us. Once again, with Pam Evans Smith Arena, Wittenberg University, the Wittenberg men's volleyball on Tiger Sports Network. Good night, everybody.